need encouragement today. Listen. It makes no difference what you're going through. You're gonna make it, 'cause God's gonna see you through. Hold your head up, put a smile on your face. This is another test, it won't last always. So get ready for your blessing. Get ready for your miracle. Get ready, come on, for your blessing. Get ready, yeah, for your miracle. Yeah. I feel encouraged tonight. Regardless of what's going on in the world today, God, He's not going to leave us where we are. Listen, I have another verse. I know you've been hurting like me, deep down inside, but let me encourage you, it's gonna be alright. Troubles and trials, they come to make us strong. Listen, keep on believing, you keep holding on. So get ready for your blessing. Get ready for your miracle. Woo! Get ready for your blessing. Get ready for your miracle. I hear this in my spirit. I need to say this one more time for somebody that's hurt real bad. You're looking to the left and you're looking to the right, but God says keep your eyes on me. Listen, I know you've been hurting deep down inside, but let me encourage you, it's gonna be alright. You see, troubles and trials, they come to make us strong. This is what we gotta do. Keep on believing, keep on holding on. Get ready, yeah, for your blessing. That's alright. Get ready. Go ahead, clap your hands for your miracle. Oh, get ready. Come on, yeah, for your blessing. Get ready, for your miracle. I wanna bring it on down. You gotta get yourself ready. You can't be moved by what's going on the outside. You gotta receive by faith that the Lord, He'll say this to you. God's got a blessing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. God's got a blessing. Oh, God's got a blessing. I need you to receive it right now. God's got a blessing. Yeah, God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. I know you're singing. God's got a blessing. That's right. Get it in your spirit. With my name on it. God's got a blessing. Hey, God's got a blessing. Oh, God's got a blessing. Put your hand on your chest and say, with my name on it. With my name on it. With my name on it. Oh, with my name on it. 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 Oh, with my name on it. Oh, yeah. God's got a blessing. Come on. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. God's got a blessing. I'm glad about it. He knows God's got a blessing. Yeah. God's got a blessing. Come on and receive it. Hey, God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. He wants you to know, with my name on it. Woo! God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. With my name on it. Come on, stay right there. With my name on it. 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 Oh, He knows beginning. He has a great expected end for you and me. Oh, I need you to take faith. I need you to receive that tonight. Oh, God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing with my name on it. Yeah. That's good news, huh? That's good news. Thank you, Lord. And until our change comes, we just continue to worship the Lord. Let nothing stop your worship. I don't care how you're hurting. I don't care how you're feeling. Don't let nothing stop your worship.
Almighty God, I worship you, Lord. Worship you. Oh, for being a good God. I worship you, Lord. Not for what you've done for me, but for who you are. I worship you. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. Oh, for being
You're my Prince of Peace. That is what I long to do. I give you praise, for you are my righteousness. I worship you, Almighty God. Yeah, there is none like you. I give you praise, for you are my righteousness. Thank you, Lord. I worship you, Almighty God. There is none like you. There is none like you. No, there is none. There is none like you. Nowhere. There is none like you. I can't find no one like you, Lord. There is none, none like you. Can I say it just one more time? Hey, there is none, none like you. There is none like you.
Hallelujah. Well, we bless that wonderful name of Jesus. Take me back just a little for my, show more, a little more on the table. Oh, come down. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Yep. All right. Perfect, my friend. Hallelujah. Well, we give God honor. We give God praise. And I'm excited about who he is. And I know that in the midst of all that we're going on, all that we're sharing, God puts stuff in your heart. God puts stuff in your spirit. And we are supposed to share. And, I find myself, I was listening to, I forgot who it was sharing something that they come to realize that, there's just a righteous spirit in their body. And everybody don't have that. And when I heard that, I'm thinking, it's because I just feel compelled oftentimes that let's just do what's right. Let's treat people right. Let's, and I find myself sticking my nose in, certainly not in this instance, it's supposed to be in, but I can recall being places where I've seen people misuse and jump in and help, and I shouldn't. I recall times, there was a time I was on our college campus right here, the one North Carolina A&T. I was on this campus many years ago, and I was riding through, and then this young guy was out there on the campus in front of one of the dormitories, and he was fighting this young lady. And, that's not my cause, but I felt like, man, you ought not be doing that. That's a girl, blah, blah, blah. So I jumped out and went on over there, stopped the fight and got in with him, so to speak. And, don't do that, man. That's not going to work. And, of course, when you do stuff like that, his accusation was, oh, you sleeping with this end? Or this what it is? It wasn't anything like that, but I know how that could be assumed. But anytime I see folks being taken advantage of, it bothers me. And I'm thinking, okay, we got to do something, about it. And when they do something well, you applaud them. And for those of you, Ark of Safety, we had some work done today around the church. Just had some landscaping, and I felt it. And some of the guys went out there, and our landscaping company, and they landscaped the church on the exterior because it was kind of getting wild because we hadn't been here. But man, they did a great job. So if you ever in the area, go by and look at your church and the landscaping. Did a great job on the outside. And, I saw it in my heart when I said, man, them guys did a great job. I appreciate it. And, my heart just compelled. I rode off to, what's the spot I went to? Canes. And I just wanted, it was late in the day, but I just wanted to do something. And so I wanted to, get them some more lunch. So I bought lunch for the crew. And in doing so, I went through it. They didn't have to do it. They got their own lunch. It was all good. But it was just one of those things where your heart just says, do something. Trying to garner no attention, trying to, and out there working was 3 of my Latino brothers and 2 of my Caucasian brothers. But I appreciate what they did. I didn't go get this. I didn't know who it was. As a matter of fact, when I went and got the food, I only saw 3. So I went and got the food. Then when I came back to distribute the food, I saw 5. I was like, oh God. So I made a U-turn and went back and got 2 more orders and came back so I'd have enough for everybody. But just a heart thing. And that's what we got to get to. We talked about in Matthew, out of the abundance of the heart. The mouth speaks. And when we're not talking about speaking in terms of words per se, but out of the abundance of your heart, you're directed in terms of your passion and what you want to do. And, whether you're a good person or a bad person, it's a heart thing. And can't nobody affect the heart but God. So we got to get people in line with the heart of God. And if you're not in the line with the heart of God, find somebody you perceive that has the heart of God and follow them until you can learn to do the right thing. And, can't say, oh, I don't know if I've always been there. I think I have. But certainly with salvation, it opens it up genuinely to, man, let's just do what's right. And so with this whole pandemic, we're going to share about this as well. It's just a matter of, let's do what's right. All we're talking about in this day and time is justice, fairness, doing to one person what you would do to everybody else. That's what we're talking about. And so, we're in a time now, unfortunately, because of the head start of our predecessors, it's hard to catch up. And so now wealth is the controlling factor. And so, we own little to nothing. So he that owns everything kind of dictates it. But I have a scripture for you that I want us to read. Let's go to Proverbs 18:6. Then I want to show you something, and then we'll expound upon it here just in a little bit. But go to Proverbs 18:6. I think it's always a good idea to start out, since we are a church, I am a pastor, start out with scripture, and then we can go from scripture to give you some proclamation as it relates to God. Proverbs 18 and 16. I'm going to read it in several versions for you, so we'll get it. And I'm going to explain to you how this all flows. I told you I had a remedy and answer for you. We're going to show you this in a minute. Proverbs, let's get the Proverbs then, Pastor, and then we'll be right there. Proverbs 18 and 16. I might have said 6, I can hear myself, but 18 and 16. Listen what it says. Let me see. I'm trying to go, I'm going maybe a little back a little bit. Let's start at maybe 14, but 16 is the operative verse. I'm in the King James for the reading. But in the King James Version it says, the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? 15 says, the heart of the prudent getteth knowledge. Prudent folk getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. Hearing things seek knowledge. 16 is the operative verse. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bring him before great men. A man's gift make room for him and bring him before great men. That's the operative verse. Let me read it to you in two more translations. Let's go to the Amplified. Read it, verse 16. A man's gift. Let me go back to 15 because that's another one. The mind of a prudent is ever getting knowledge, and the ear of the wise is ever seeking, inquiring for, and craving knowledge. Wise people crave knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. One more translation and we'll be off and running. I always like my Good News translation. Slowly and surely becoming my favorite translation. Verse 15, and you hear why. It says in the Good News translation, intelligent people are always eager and ready to learn. Intelligent people are always eager and ready to learn. Do you want to meet an important person in your life? Your gift will make room for, or take a gift, and it will be easy. What's simply saying here, I like the King James and the Amplified, it says that a man's gift will make room for it. That's a biblical precept, a biblical concept, and a biblical truth, which simply says the gift of a man, and you also know that all perfect gifts, good gifts, come from the Lord. So whatever you do well in the earth realm, that's a gift that came from the Lord. You didn't buy it, you didn't pay for it, you just found yourself with the ability to do it. But what God has done, he has given you this gift so it'll make room for you. Room also simply means capacity. It'll sustain you. It'll keep you. It'll provide for you. And so you look at all the various peoples on planet Earth. You know, I look at professions like podiatrists and dentists, and I'm thinking, my God, that has to be a gift and a calling. Mortuary. Everybody, you know, how do you come up and say, you know, I want to be a mortician? How does somebody come and say, you know, I want to be a podiatrist? You know, I want to be a dentist. And we thank God for all those professions because we need it. But everybody is not inclined to do that. And those people that do call to that gift, minister in that gift, they do an excellent job. And we thank God for it. I couldn't deal with podiatry. I couldn't deal with all these feet because, you know, you got an amalgam, which means a whole lot of feet. You know, I can't go in everybody's mouth, you know, because you got to be a dentist. But thank God somebody finds that as a gift. And then they open up a practice and their gift makes room for them. You know, some of us have the gift of cleaning and servitude and doing banquet halls and managing and, you know, orchestrating, accounting, lawyer, doctors. Thank God for the gift. And so what we're talking about now, what we need in our country that I share with you about is going to get a little dicey, but I know it's God, and I've seen so many things about it. I believe, and I've said this to you on many occasions, that one of the major gifts that God has given African Americans, everybody has it, but it seems that African Americans excels in it, and we talk about it, it's in the area of athleticism and sports. And so when you find it, you know, we don't know why we can do it to the level that we do it. And you have to agree, we do it to the level that we do it above every other race. Now, there are exceptions. There are people in races, even our Oriental brothers and our Latino brothers and certainly our Caucasian brothers, you know, they all are gifted and talented in these areas. But by and large, African Americans seem to excel in this area. For what reason? I don't know, but I believe that is so that their gift can make room for them. And so what I think America has found out, that because of this gift of athleticism is not a knock. And let me help with something that I kept hearing before. People were saying that we need to introduce our children, African Americans, to other occupations. Absolutely, I agree. But I'm still saying to you, don't knock the fact that their desires and their dream is to be a rapper or an athlete. We've now come to a place where we're diminishing that like it's a bad thing. But what they're doing, they're gravitating towards what's on the inside of them. And certainly we say the opposite because we know that not all going to be rappers, not all going to be athletes. And so now people say, well, all they want to do is be rappers and athletes. Well, rappers and athletes get paid well. I'm not talking about rappers that are rapping derogatory statements and using the N word, and using the B word, and cussing all that. You know, there's exploitations in everything. But I'm talking about, you know, I've heard some good raps that are not so much built on negativity. Then I've heard this great thing of the spoken word, and boy, we got some brothers and sisters that can speak that thing with clarity, clear articulation. It's a blessing. And so we don't want to water it down. That's not all we can do, but that's one of the things that I think, were partly destined to do because it's a gift. And so when you can do that well, pursue it. If you don't make it, have your fallback plan. I'm for that. But let's stop knocking our younger generation when they say all they want to do is be rappers and basketball players. Not a bad thing. They seeing what we can do, but also help them to have a fallback plan. Because what is going to, I'm telling you, what is going to change America when you look at the landscape of things, the only advantage we have in this country is athletics, period. The only advantage we have, the only tool we have to our disposal is athletics on the professional level. And if we have an opportunity, or we can ever change society, we're going to have to start with the athletic realm. We've got to get to a place where athletes, because what athletes do, they have a platform, unlike no other, I'm talking about professional athletes, where they can demand change. Jay, prep the video for me. I want to show you the power. I've been hollering it from the rooftop. And so I want to show you something that I said to you that we were going to touch on some things. I didn't even know it. I think this video came out on last night. After I said what I said, I hadn't seen it. My son showed it to me. But it's right in line with what I'm talking about. And what you're going to see, these are professional football players, stars of the game, that have gotten together and created a video that are now demanding that the league that they play for do something about the plight that they're in. So he's going to come before you. I'm kind of back up a little bit, and we're going to have to do this almost like we did the Lion King thing. But my son's going to come up, and we're going to show you this video here, and then I'll come back with you.
It's been 10 days since George Floyd was brutally murdered.
How many times do we need to ask you to listen to your players?
What will it take for one of us to be murdered by police brutality?
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd?
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd? If I was George Floyd?
I am George Floyd. I am Breonna Taylor.
I am Ahmaud Arbery. I am Eric Garner.
I am Kwame McDonald. I am Tamir Rice.
I am Trayvon Martin. I am Walter Scott. I am Michael Brown Jr. I am Samuel Du Bois.
I am Frank Smith.
I'm Philip White. I'm Jordan Baker.
We will not be silenced. We assert our right to
Peacefully protest. It shouldn't take this long to admit. So, on behalf of the National Football League,
this is what we, the players,
would like to hear you state.
We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people. We, the National Football League,
admit wrong and silencing our players from peacefully protesting.
We, the National Football League,
Believe Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Certainly you can Google and you can find that video but that was powerful. That actually was just released on last night. But what's happening is these athletes who are generating billions for the economy and for the Caucasian race. And I say the Caucasian race because it is the ownership that's involved. And so when you see how people have amassed wealth in this country, they haven't amassed wealth by pulling up their bootstraps like they want us to do. These are generational wealth that is passed down from generation to generation. Even with Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and his sons that are coming after him, his sons didn't have to go out and create anything. They're just going to fall into and inherit a Dallas Cowboy team that's worth billions that's just been handed down from his father. Well, how did the Cowboys get to the status of creating billions? You have to have a product. You have to have a commodity. And so what God has done, He's wanting us to be mindful of the fact that I have given the African American race a gift. And if you would utilize a gift, your gift will make room for you. What has happened, others outside of our race have seen our gift, so they have confiscated our gift, and our gift makes them money, and it don't necessarily bring us any money. Now, I understand when you say to the professional level, well, they get paid, they get astronomical contracts. Absolutely. But let's trigger this thing all the way down. We're not just talking about at the professional level. I'm talking about at the high school level. I'm talking about at the college level, because it's only when you get to the professional level that you start beginning to get paid for your gift and your talent. But let me tell you something. You are not getting paid nearly what your gift and talent is bringing to that organization. Not even close. And so now what happens is we've got this streamline of America that understands that I always throw the terminology out there, slavery, but the concept is so similar. The concept is similar. Well, what do you mean, Pastor? I mean, 400 plus years ago, our ancestors were slaves. So they were the labor force. Watch it now. They were the labor force that was not able to prosper or benefit from their labor. They labored, their force went to the master, he took their labor and their goods, and he went and exchanged it for material wealth, and they got nothing. Just some beat up house in the back, and fed them every now and then. They exploited our women. They exploited the men. They broke up families because they understood. I'm telling you what they saw. They looked over and said, this is a bunch of resourceful people. They're going to help us amass wealth. You move forward now to high school. Let's start at the very basic. We're all in competitive competition, because then we have people to come in, and now you brought on this, what they call, and it's a brainwash mentality. We brought this AAU circuit. And so with the AAU circuit, if you look behind the AAU circuit, you got the companies of the Nikes, the Reeboks, and the Adidas. So they got somebody that they're pushing on that level and say, go into that community and find all of those slaves, athletes that can play. Let's put them on a team, and we're going to give them a bag, we're going to give them a pair of shoes, and then we're going to let them travel to different cities and play basketball. But the income that we're going to receive from them far exceeds the bag and the shoes and the travel that they're giving to you. And so again, you're being exploited, and somebody else is getting the money. So much so it's in a corrupt thing now where you can't even trust the AAU coaches because the sponsors are giving AAU coaches money to get a certain slave. I mean, certain player. And so now, if you can help me get so-and-so, if you get me so-and-so, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And when we've had nothing, 100K sounds good. Then we know because what we're doing, the sponsors, the endorsers, they're in cahoots with large universities. And so large universities are directing that thing so they get your children at an early age, so they get them attracted to your university via the sponsors. And so they want Nike to say, keep up with him, give him some tennis shoes, because Nike is the sponsor of our university, so we can get whatever we want from Nike, so we keep sliding them that way. They're not used to having anything, so that when they get of age and they graduate from high school, they'll come to my university. And when they come to my university, I'm telling you the concept is the same. They come to your university. Amateurs cannot make a dime off of your likeness as an amateur. So when they come to your university, then they're going to be there for 4 years, packing your stadium, putting your name out there, getting you recognized. You make billions off of these athletes, off of these slaves, whatever you want to call them. You make billions off of them, and in exchange for their likeness and their gift and their talent, you give them a $100,000 education when they probably made you $100 million, if not more. It's in the billions. I shouldn't even have said that. But that's your way of saying thank you. Now, God forbid, if that athlete or that slave or that horse break a leg or lose a limb or whatever, then I just got to replace him with somebody else that'll come in and do, because the university has to make money. You know what the cry is right now? Don't mistake the pandemic, the corona, and racism. Also, the economy is in trouble. Because where we used to get our resources now, that thing has been shut down. So if you look throughout all sports, if you're sports addict, they're moving feverishly now to say, we've got to get sports back by any means necessary. It is so important, not that we watch it, but they get revenue from it, that we got to put this thing out there. We are now willing to put these athletes on the field, on the court, without fans in the seat. Because the fan, that ought to tell you something. The fans in the seat is not necessary to our wealth. We don't need the fans in the seat. We need the slaves on the field or on the court. You ain't hearing what I'm saying. And because with that, television revenue is coming in. The people make these universities, these professional sports, they make their money from television. That's why when we have this whole hype, listen to me, when the Super Bowl comes, and I'm not knocking that, when the Super Bowl comes, they are charging $1 million+ for a 30-second commercial. And they have tons of them that they have to give, they have to cut it off because so many people want it. That's how they're able to make the money and go. And what the television does, you have to understand this. You have to understand this. What the television does, television, ESPN, TBN, TNT, ABC, Fox, all of them, they come and they pay the organizations or the owners billions with a B of dollars to air their slaves on TV. That's where the money comes from. It ain't come from you putting your butt in the seat, but it helps because, they charge you, $8 for a hot dog, $10 for a beer or whatever. I'm glad I don't drink. Stuff is astronomical when you go there, but it's a whole marketing scheme to make money. You ain't there in the stands to watch nothing. I'm watching these superior athletes out on the field. Now, I told you before, and I'm not going to apologize. I know there's some athletes of different color, but I'm telling you, by and large, NFL, primarily, probably about 70 to 80+% African American. NBA, let's not even go there. 80, 90% African American. Trying to figure out now. They move and say, oh, we got to do something. Let me tell you, I'll expose what's happening. The television contract is where they make the money. Nothing wrong with that. So the league stopped, and I don't know the exact number. I should have had it for you. The league stopped play because of the COVID-19. They stopped play somewhere around 6 to 8 games short of meeting the contract for the television contract so that the owners can get the money. So guess what's happening now? They're planning, they proposed a deal. I think it got passed. They're moving to Disney, hopefully July the 31st. But what they have to make sure of is we're about 8 games short of getting this money. Because the television contract says you're playing 82-game season, but you have to play a minimum of, I don't know, maybe 70 games. The numbers are immaterial. You got to play a minimum of 70 games so the contract would be valid. Well, they're about 8 games short of that. So guess what they're going to do? We're going to play these 8 games because that's when the money kicks in. Who are they wanting to see? I always tell you this. If you know, your favorite player is getting a $150 million contract, that's a lot of money. I agree. But I told you before, if I'm the owner, you ain't my only player. And if I can give you a $150 million contract, you know I got to have more than that. Then I got 14 other guys on my team that I got to pay. Then I got a payroll for a building they have to furnish. Then I got employees that work for the company that don't even pay. So if I'm paying you that, it ought to tell you he's making a whole lot more than that. All of the owners out there are billionaires with a B. How did they get there? Not all like the guy from Microsoft. Not everything from IT, but we're talking about the sports industry. This is from the product that I put on the field and on the court. So we say, God, I thank you for it. Because of the product on the field and the court, now we have a voice. And I'm telling you, if we start speaking out from that forum and dictating to them what we want, or we're not going to perform, things will change tomorrow. Things will change tomorrow. Look at the mindset. They're smart. Somebody said the other day, and I love it, so I'm going to start saying it as well. They said the criminal justice system, the economic wealth system in America is broken. And I want you to rethink that and re-say that. It is not broken. It just ain't working for us. But it's working for them. It's not broken. It's working just like they have planned and purposed for it to work. It ain't broken. It's working just like they wanted to work. It just ain't working for us. But it ain't broken. It's the way they want it. So that's why you can't, if they are in charge and you're deeming that the system is broken and they're saying it ain't broken, they're not going to fix what they don't believe is not broken. And in their minds and their heart, they're right. It's not broken. This ain't working for us. Why should we change? And so I've said to you before, out of the abundance of the heart, I'm going to stay with sports. I love sports. We got to get to the place where we stop, and I'm watching television all week and all long. I'm like the one young lady that was on First Take this morning. I'm about fed up with apologies. This apology stuff, stop being sorry and let's start being more careful. Because as Maya Angelou said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. These guys are making statements. The Drew Brees, the young quarterback from Georgia now in the NBA, the Vic Fangio from this is just recent, the last 3 days. The head coach of the Denver Broncos. You know, we're talking about organizations that are making money off of our people, still coming up, and then letting you know how they feel about you. And so what's happening now is they're making statements right off the top of their head. I tell folks before, when somebody puts a mic in your mouth and asks you a question, when you come out of it off of the top of your head, you're speaking from your heart. That's how you really feel. You got in order not to err, in order to be politically correct, you got to really think about it. And therefore, you can't say what you want to say. I want us to get back to a country where be real. I think the thing I was going to say about this, I said, I was going to title this, don't be a coward. Let's keep it 100. I say this to say, when I don't like the KKKs, but I respect them because I know where they stand. If the KKK were to do something, you wouldn't be surprised. The only reason we're surprised because we're surprised by people that we thought weren't going to do it because you thought they were one way. But the Bible says that people look at the outer, God looks at the heart. That thing has always been in them. Out of the abundance of the heart, if you squeeze them long enough, if they get in the right position, they'll speak what's in their heart. And you can't deny that. And so I'm sick of people saying, well, I don't know if he meant that. He said what he meant. What do you mean he didn't mean it? He said what he meant. And then immediately the next day, now we got to come with this false apology that your PR person wrote, your lawyer wrote. You know why? Because I got to save my goodwill, I got to save my image, and I got to save my brand. So they can't even be truthful. And then when they slid out a little truth, African American put some heat on it, and then they reneged back on and said, but what they can say is, at least I got it out. I told you about a snake. A snake will bite you. Stop playing and petting the snake and surprised when he bites you. He's not a pet, he's a snake. The Bible calls them vipers. Oh, you vipers. Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth will speak. We go on the flip side, the Black Panthers. White folk know where they're coming from. You know how they stand. The NOI, Nation of Islam, you know where they're coming from. So these groups, I don't support, I'm not in favor of, but at least I know where they're coming from. Here is my problem. The folk that smile in your face. What's the song? Smile in your face, boom, 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 backstabbers. That's the devils. And so every now and then, that thing will slip out. Let me help y'all with what we're talking about as well. You ought not be surprised. Everybody right now, you ought to know where Trump stands. There ain't no more surprises. See what happened with before. We thought or we expected because you were lulled into the professionalism of Barack Obama, the class, the dignity of this African American man, and he upheld the position of President of the United States with class. Now he didn't agree with everybody. He didn't agree with us because I told you before he's not a preacher. Stop trying to make Barack a pastor. He's a politician. He has to appease and appeal to everybody. So you stop trying to put Christian values on politicians. That's not going to work. They all going to disappoint you. There ain't a politician out there, including Barack, going to stick to the word. You can't do that and be a politician. But class and integrity and dignity and leadership, you can do that. So we expected that out of the White House. Then when this clown came around and doing what he do, now everybody's surprised because you don't expect that out of it. But he's speaking out of the abundance of his heart. You got to give him to that. He ain't sugarcoating nothing. He let you know exactly how he feels. So don't try to make anything up for him. Say, okay, I got you, bro. Unfortunately, you already got the position, but we know where you're coming from. So why are you expecting anything different from him? And so now he perpetuates other people that feel the same way. He said, well, my God, the leadership feel this way. And so things are coming out more and more. And so when they come out, then as soon as somebody, and here's the irony of it, and we don't really want to change that. The irony of it all is, along with another gift that we have, and it's not a knock, it's just an observation. We are the most forgiving, loving, accepting people on planet Earth. God knew that when he made us. He knew that when he made us. So I believe he also knew that no other generation of people can go through what they'll go through and not be envious. It's got to be them. Because they can go through what they go through and still include everybody else. And so what I'm talking about now, I'm not talking about exclusion. I'm talking about inclusion. Because if we do this thing right, we will let people come in and be a part of us and not judge them by the color of the skin or by the content of their character. But other people won't let us in. And so when I look at what we're doing, I said, listen, we can fix this now. Somebody sent me a statement for, I know they don't like it, but I watched this thing because I love sports. And so what they've done is they came up with y'all gonna help me on my time, where we at. They come in with, now they're fighting back and forth. It used to be, when Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant, rest of soul, and LeBron James and all of them came out of high school, you were able to go right from high school into the pros. So you skip college. Why would they change the law to now make you go to college for your profession and your career when I don't have to? Why? Why? How can you they don't do that in no other sport. Baseball don't do that. Why did they say, no, football I can kind of understand because it's a little more violent, but basketball, why, what would make them say, no, you've got to go to college first? Then, so going to college first, it was 4 years. So that's 4 years of revenue off of you. They fought and they did the one and done, and they said, well, okay, well, no. I mean, they did it straight to college. Straight to the pros. Then they came and said, no, wait a minute. We got some slaves getting away that we got more cotton that we have to pick. And so the universities are suffering now because these slave athletes are no longer coming to the university. They're going straight to the NBA and getting paid. We got to fix this, or the university's economy or money going to be in trouble. Think now, who is one and done directly affected? Who are they targeting? Who are the one and done? If you think what I'm saying about our athleticism and our prowess to compete is not superior than any other race, who are they targeting? Show me a one and done Caucasian. Show me one. All the ones that I know African Americans. So when they stop that, who are they trying to stop, or who are they targeting? Let's not play games. African Americans, our athletes, our boys are able to go from high school to the pros. Wait a minute. You're going to go from high school to the pros without a college education and you're going to make millions, but then I got to go to school, then I got to go to law school, then I got to do my practice, then I got to do my residency if I'm a doctor. I got to spend all these years before I come out and you still make more money than me? It's America. And the brainwashing, closing with this, the brainwashing has been, okay, let's convince them that they need us and we don't need them. Let's convince them that our universities is the springboard for their success. You're talking about Jim Crow. You're talking about mass incarceration. I'm telling you, athletics is the new Jim Crow. It's the new Jim Crow. Because they have convinced not only your children, but I hope parents are listening, send it to the parents. They have convinced the parents that if you want your son to make it, he is going to have to go to this university because we're going to be on television, we're going to be doing this, we're going to do that, and then he's going to get exposed and he's going to go do what he got to do. Of course they are, silly, because your son goes there. The swim team ain't on TV. The lacrosse team ain't on TV. The golf and the tennis team, they're not on TV. As a matter of fact, because the football and basketball has been slower because of the virus, they are minimizing and getting rid of those other sports that they deem non-essential. for this university. And so now you got to be careful because they're willing to jeopardize our children to bring these slaves back on campus so we can resume our product and our productivity. This ain't about your children. This is about them making money. They will open up the campus and drive them through and swab their nose and swab their neck and see if they're all right. Now go on your dorm. We got practice in the morning. They can't do it without us. But they convince you that you can't do it without them. That's a lie. Let me give you history. Wearing my shirt. Because you see it. Black history. HBCU colleges. Let me help you, young millennials and older parents. You should have known that. Those schools that you think you need to promote your children to the next level, let me tell you, there was a point in time for your ancestors and mine that we weren't even allowed to go there. They didn't want the blackies on their campuses. But after they found out that they were a commodity and they can bring wealth to this university, let's bring them in by the droves. Let's convince them that we don't need them, they need us. So we convince them, you gotta go ahead, the devil is a lie. I'm telling you, young bucks, your talent, your gift will make room for you. I don't care if you go to Lindenwood or you go to what I always call my school right here in Missouri. Any one of the HBCU schools, you can make it from there. If you're good enough and talented, you'll make it. And I'm telling you what will happen. I'm telling you what will happen. The cameras will switch from the North Carolinas and the Kentuckys and the Dukes and the Michigan States and the Michigans. The cameras will switch from them. The cameras will switch, and then the cameras will go to the Bowie States and to the Dillard and to the Alabama A&T, A&M, and to the North Carolina A&T, and to the Fisk, and to the Howard, and to the Xavier, and to the Spelman, and to the Tennessee States, and to the Morehouse, and to the Grambling, and to the Fayetteville State, and the list goes on. There's 101 places. The cameras will shift because they are interested in the product, not the school. And they've taught you, I'm going to go on a little bit, they taught you another lie. They taught you a lie that the name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back of the jersey. That's a lie. That's a lie. Your name is what's bringing money to the university. Not that they've always been whatever they are, but you're there. Generational wealth. I told you before. So they know if they get you in there, they know you're destined to go to the pros. Then you feel obligated because I graduated from there. So then I'm an alumni there. You ain't even been there but a year, if that. Now I'm an alumni there. So I make my money in there. Then I put the money in their endowment. And they tell me the endowment for those universities, they're in the millions and billions. The endowment for HBCU schools, you can scrape them out the bottom and barely make ends meet. HBCU schools are struggling financially because America has robbed us of our resources. God gave us a plan and we aborted it. We aborted it for greener pastures. And I told you before, we are inclusive. Well, what do you want to do, Pastor? We have to come together as a people. And I'm telling you, I know it. The facilities, here's the carrot. The facilities, the gym, the travel, the per diem, the illegal money that's coming in, that's paid in these players' pockets while they're there, they are not to be compared. I'm not stupid. They are not to be compared with the big schools. I graduated from North Carolina A&T. A&T don't have the same facilities that the bigger schools have. We don't have the same training room. We don't have the same travel time. We don't have the same size gym. We don't have the same size workout equipment. We don't have an extra gym for practice. We don't have all that. They do, but don't get tripped. The reason they do is because your children built it. And I said, if we are willing to take 3 steps back and build up what's ours, you have eventually the same thing that they have. But nobody wants to take steps back. And all I say, I've said this on many occasions, you simply say, if you don't want me to kneel on your team in the national anthem, I believe I better go ahead and find my own team. You don't want to listen to me with social justice in this area. I guess I better go and play on another team. You don't want to broadcast our games because we're not there, but I guess we got to raise up some more BETs and some other things. I'm talking about seclusion. I'm talking about inclusion. Because when you are in charge, you dictate what you want. And so as long as you are under the master's knee, he's going to dictate what you do. You saw it happen to Colin Kaepernick. We should be, this is 4 years removed. We should have had, the reason this thing is getting the volume and the press that it's getting now, because the world's behind it. The world should have been behind Colin Kaepernick. It's the same thing the boy said 4 or 5 years ago. Same thing he said. But nobody got behind it. The athletes now made this tape. I'm telling you, not because you're bullish, but because it's right. Back when Cap had kneeled, if we were together as a generation and as a nation, not only that, as a race, all of them brothers on that field, I said this when it first happened, they all should have joined behind Colin Kaepernick and said, we all kneel. Do what you got to do. And so you know what they did. They were slick now. Remember I told you, they just operate on the laws that they created. So everything that's out there on the professional level, guess what they are? They're under contract. So they're saying you are under contract. You have to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm telling you, maybe so, but I don't have to do it if I got a hangnail. I don't have to do it if my pinky toe hurts. I can't play today, coach, because my nail is hung right there, and that's bothering me. So I can't play today. If all of a sudden, everybody got hangnail, everybody toenail hurts, can nobody play this Sunday? Watch what happens. You hear it when a person's contract is up. Contract is just designed to make sure I'm going to make as much money off of you over this period of time as I can. Now, I'm going to pay you because I have to. Hey, listen, if they could get away with not paying LeBron James and he keep playing basketball, they would. They would. That's what they did in college. LeBron didn't go to college, so he didn't have to deal with that. That's what they did. And so now we're sitting there saying, okay, well, y'all want us to play? We'll start our own thing. Now, we're going to start our own thing, and we'll let you come in. We're not segregating. We're not eliminating you. We're just going over here and start our own thing so that it'll be equal and fair. Because you can trust us to be fair and equal. You've proven that we can't trust you to be fair and equal. So we got to get to the place where, how do we do our own thing? When Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, all the other super baseball players back in our ancestors' days, they were rolling with the Negro Baseball League. Down in Tulsa, they put together the Negro Black Wall Street. Booming. White America looked over and said, wait a minute, these jokers rising up. Burnt Tulsa, black, prosperous Wall Street to the ground. Never recovered. Looked over and their baseball was suffering. Said, them jokers over there playing that baseball, why you didn't leave us over there? No, because you had foresight. You knew that eventually they're going to take over. Because people want to go watch athleticism. I want to see them climb the walls. I want to see jokers run. And so they went to the whole thing and said, whoa. Like they did the Hebrew boys. Let's look over there and get one or two of their best. Let's bring them over here. Jackie Robinson wasn't even the best player in the Negro League. One of the best, they brought him over here. Let's get them in here. Let's do some things. Why are we doing? We want to infiltrate. We want to bring them over on this side. We're going to mistreat them now, but we're going to bring them on this side so that side can die. The same thing happened with the HBCU. I think I had a report where we were sending out of HBCU hundreds of professional athletes to the professional ranks per year. They said, wait a minute, they got something going on there. Let's change this program. Started snatching the elite talents out of our HBCU. And guess what? It killed our draft picks and our program and professional sport from then till now. And now we're so brainwashed that we've got our African American kids. It is a disdain. They think it's a disgrace for them to go to an HBC school now. Top athletes all throughout the city of St. Louis. If you're gifted and talented, it'll work. Same thing on the Division I level. I saw somebody send me a thing said, if all, and I'm not advocating, but it's a point. If all D1 athletes, baseball, football, and basketball that are African Americans, if they decommit from them bigger universities and enroll in HBC schools or even threaten to, America would turn today. In theory, it's the same thing with the gospel. You know why corrupt pastors are continued to come on the air and teach garbage, and you know they're corrupt, they sleep with boys, they're cheating on their wife. You know why they're doing that? Money. Money's running it. If you tell that corrupt pastor, we ain't putting another nickel in this offering plate till you get up out of here. Let the church go to the bottom. I guarantee he'll be gone tomorrow. But he doing what he got to do because y'all keep giving. And the schools are doing what they got to do because the parents will keep sending the kids. We're never going to get on top. We're never going to get on top. We're the only group of people where we won't band together for the cause. We get the crab in a bucket mentality. You've got to take, we don't have the same facilities. We don't have the big stadiums as they do. My point is, we don't have it yet. But I promise you, we can get it if we come together. We can make them. I told you, I said, we can make them do what we want to do. Just withhold your services. That's what they do to us. Let me just read some stuff real quick and let them go. What my time is? Ooh, 8:10. Okay, let them go. Let me see what I got here. And I'm going to leave you with this because I'm going to start on something new tomorrow. But I'm going to leave you with this. This is my notes. I said I'm sick of these false apologies after the fact to save your image and your brand. It's all right not to like me. I just need to know it. If you don't like, just say it. Then I know how to deal with you. We can still be friends. I just got to deal with you from a distance. You don't have to apologize. Be you. Silent kills. My problem is with the so-called don't know who they are. With the so-called Christians who you don't want me in your church, but you won't say it. You don't want me dating your daughter, but you won't say it. You just act it out. You don't want me in your neighborhood. You don't say it, but you just act out. You don't want me in your stores. You don't say it, but you act out. You don't want me wearing or purchasing your clothes. You don't say it, but you act out. You don't want me in your banks. You don't want me in your schools. You don't want me on your teams. You don't want me in your hotels. And yet, we act like we got to go. Listen, if you don't want me in yours, we just build our own. Build our own banks. Build our own schools. Make our own clothes. Have our own church. You don't have to beg to get what they don't want you to have. That's beneath me. No, you don't want me to have it? Cool. You don't want me to come? Cool. You don't want me to wear your stuff? Cool. I'm not begging to do that. And here we go again. We got us begging. I'm sick and tired of us. That's what I just said. Of us begging for what others have and what others don't want us to have. You know they don't want you to have it, and you beg for it anyway. Tell them, keep it. Keep it. I'm just going to open up something else over here. It was a time before integration when we had our own mom and pop stores. This and that. We were good. They said that's thriving, so they showed us something else, and we all ran over there. We always want what we think is better on the other side. The grass ain't no greener on the other side. You just got to water your grass on this side. They're watering their grass so it looks more attractive. You ain't watering your grass over here. That's why it looks greener. Water your own lawn. I'm sick and tired of just getting along or to fit in when clearly they don't even want you. Keep your locker room. I just go somewhere where I'm comfortable. And we open up our own locker room. Now you're free to, I'm telling you, don't twist it when you put this out there. We will have our own, but you're free to come. And we're going to show you how to treat people. We don't treat people like you do. We just don't. We just don't. It might say the thing. Listen, you can sit up in a church, in an all-white church, and if a black person walked down that church, you'd be, ooh, is he lost? What's he doing here? I'm like, what? And everybody's staring. Everybody clutching the purse. In the church. I'm not talking about several whites. I'm talking about several blacks. I'm talking about one. Well, they're going to start coming? If one comes, they're like roaches. They're going to bring a whole lot more. But then you get a black church, and then a white person walks in. It's so much love. It's so much, and I mean to the overflow. Sometimes it's not even really necessary because you want to say, okay, do you think they're God? No, that's just the way our mind has been reconditioned to think that they're so much better. So, but our hearts is, we're welcoming in. But when we go in, it's suspects. So, okay, what they want now? Okay, we just got everybody on their walkie-talkie calling about who just walked in. Let me let you go because I'm going to finish after the night. Maybe it's time to have our own where we take our skin color out of the equation. This stuff don't happen in black on black, all black. But the problem is, church, we don't own anything. We got to go into ownership. And it takes time. The reason they are so far ahead is because they had such a head start. And if we don't start I promise you, if we would start, we would catch up quicker than you think. But we're afraid to start because we have to start back. Because if I go over there, then, I'm going to make $30 million a year. If I stay here, I'm only going to make $3 million a year. For now, you will. They start out paying $30 million. They had to grow to that. Don't be deceived. You got to get there for your children's children. This ain't just for you. We got to lay up an inheritance for our children's children. The beauty in having our own everything is we will include, y'all hear this, put this out when you send it out. The beauty in having our own everything is we will include everyone. Where now, as we have it, whites don't want to always include us, and when they are made to do so, the truth will eventually come out. See, this is where I would go. It's a damnable thing to make somebody tolerate somebody that they don't want to tolerate. Because eventually out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth's going to speak. If I have to tolerate you for a cause, eventually I'm going to insult you. It's the same thing I did with the gospel. Until, I faked being saved for a while, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. Until my heart was changed and I wanted Jesus. Can't nobody talk me out of salvation and being a Christian now, because this is what I want to do. I was faking it before. Be careful when folk are faking it, because the real them going to eventually show up. We thought integration meant, this is important, we thought integration meant that we would be accepted. But because white people were made to integrate, they didn't want to integrate, made to integrate by laws. And when you're made to do something you really don't want to do without God being in life, you usually resent it and normally don't stick with it because it was not a heart change, and you go right back to what you've been doing. And we're trying to make people do. You don't have to make them. You don't want to do it? It's okay. I'll go in another locker room. Be willing to be different and go in another locker room. I appreciate it. I'm going to say something comical at the end. Unity is a biblical principle, but not all people are Christians. Therefore, not all will ascribe, and it will not work for everyone. But Christians can give God glory by showing a distinct difference. We as Christians ought to show a distinct difference. And if you think, I was telling my boys today, sometimes I humor myself and I laugh. And I said, you know what? What if they don't think it's different? What if we ever were to have a Pro Bowl, NBA All-Star? Baseball might be a little more challenging because there ain't a whole lot over there, but we can look for it. We'll take the Latino brothers with us on our side. And then we just have a East-West game, North-South game, Black-White game. Let's have a Pro Bowl where the have-nots, that's us, the blacks, they're the have-nots. Give us all raggedy equipment, put us on one side, then give the whites the have, give them all the best equipment, put them on that side. Then let's play a little football game, black against white. It's just, and you keep your own owners. You got your owners, Jerry Jones and all them. Then we got our owners over here, Puff Daddy, all these. We got our owners over here. And let's play a little game. Put all the brothers in there, and let's just lace it up and go. Because I'm telling you right now, 99% of your quarterback is a statue. And when Brady drops back the pass, and these brothers come off that line, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. Just food for thought. Oh, you want to divide them? No, I don't want to divide the people. I want to bring us together, but I want you to only come together if you want to be together. Right now, the problem is we are forcing people to be together that don't want to be together. We are forcing people to want to be with me that don't want to be with me. Let them be free. And all I want you to do is speak out. Tell somebody, I don't want to be with them. I want to be over here. I know I got some white brothers that agree with me and say, sir, you're right. Let's just get our own. That's all they say. That's fine. That's fine. But I'm sick and tired of us begging for crumbs that fall from the master's table when God had already given you a seat at the table. And we're resorting, just give me the crumb. No, you ain't supposed to get no crumb. You're supposed to sit at the table with your fork and knife and cut your own filet mignon or caviar or whatever you got. You will have a seat at the table, but they've taught you. Just eat the crumbs. No, that's for dogs. We ain't no dogs. We also have been made in the express image and the likeness of God. God has given us a gift. And it'll make room for you if we'll use it. But somebody has seen the gift. They recognize your gift more than you do, and they're exploiting your gift. Your gift now is a sad commentary. Your gift, our gift, don't even work for us. You possess the gift, and you're the last one to get paid for it. The devil is a lie. But we have bought it. So I'm telling America, let's figure out who's who. Say it. Drew Brees or Fromm or Vecchio, if that's what they feel, let them say it. You don't have to apologize. Just say, that's how I feel. I don't like y'all. That's okay. You can still like them, just don't participate. I said, I know it's a trust factor now. I understand. But then anyway, we can hang out at work, we can talk at the water cooler, we can do this, but when Sunday comes now, you go over there and I'm going over here. And that's not always bad because there's a culture difference. I understand that. I don't want to be shallow. And so, my music and what I like, my flavor is different. So I can't go over there, unless they got some soul over there. So I understand that. So I'm not really knocking that, but for the most part, that's where we are. And so when people say stuff, everyone will be shocked. Oh, can't believe he said that. Then to save their brand and to save the league and to save the image, it's about money. Oh, we can't offend them now. We ain't going to give them no rights and no privileges, but we can't offend them because we need them to take the field. But if we had followed Kaepernick 4 years ago, perhaps George Floyd would be alive today. Perhaps. That's all I'm saying. Be willing to build your own and stop begging for what other people have. My time is up. I thank you for yours. Appreciate you. God bless you. It's been a wonderful time. I know what God has put in our hearts. And if the truth don't come to you, you won't get it right. We have been brainwashed into thinking that we're less than who we are. You don't even know your own value. You are priceless. I don't care where you go, your gift will make room for you. Television will follow you. If you don't believe me, like I said before, ask LeBron James. ESPN followed him in high school. Why? Because of his talent. They ain't follow nobody else in high school. Televised his high school game. Ain't did it for nobody else. They came to where the product was. And when he left high school, they followed him to Cleveland. When he left Cleveland, they followed him to Miami. When he went back to Cleveland, they followed him back to Cleveland. He left Cleveland and went to LA, they followed him to LA. The cameras will find you. If you're talented enough, somebody will find you. It's just a rumor that came out. One of the top high school guys in the area made a mention. He said, you know what, I might consider an HBCU schools. What if they all did? Remember I told you before? What if they all put on these jerseys? This is about 10 or so, but there's another 90 plus. You can find one in an area near you if you just look. And I'm telling you, they'd love to have you. And let me tell you this. If you would just take a trip there, I'm telling you from somebody that's been there, the experience on the campus is unlike any other. There's nothing like it. Those of you that's been there before can attest. Nothing like it. You go there and you feel at home. I'm telling you what I know. It's an experience. And I believe now that me going to A&T was a part of my assignment. I didn't do this intentionally. But I think that he knew the plans he had for me. And so this would fit into this purpose for my life. So that's why I went there. This wasn't my intent. I wasn't after, I'm going to a black school. No, I didn't say that. I just ended up going there. But when I look back over my life, it was a part of his plan. And I'm grateful today. Wouldn't change it for anything in the world. God bless you. We love you. We will see you on Sunday night, Sunday morning. Remember, Sunday morning is first Sunday. We'll have communion, so get your communion elements together. First Sunday is benevolence. We give into benevolence. We have our June birthday folks coming out. We'll acknowledge the June birthday folks as well. But stay tuned on Sunday. We'll be back. My purpose, my plan is to start on the 4 wheels of God. If that's what he wants, that's where we'll be. If he wants to do something else, we'll do something else. To God be all the glory. Love you. Appreciate you. The truth will make you free. Bye now. See you Sunday morning. Our motto is one God, one love, one church. Stay blessed in Jesus' name.